Okay. Hey, everybody, or probably nobody. um, I'm going to wait a while until someone is online and can tell me if sound and image is okay. Uh, it was okay in my earplugs, so that's good. So, yeah, let's just wait a second before I talk first about the crap that just happened with my live event that I plan to do. Yeah. Let's see. Let's go to Twitter and announce that I'm live, although not as live as I want to be. Right. So live event didn't work. But we can still do a live episode of the Vitruvian Life. Oops, live. There we go. Vitruvian Life with an F. Tweet. All right. So where are we? Okay, Kabuki Kid is there. Hi, Kabuki. Okay, so I've been planning this event for a couple of days now. I wanted to show you the Board Game Geek list with the releases and demos of Gen Con, which I am not attending, of course. I'm here in little old Belgium. Gen Con is still on my bucket list to do. Hey, Ruby. Good to see you here now. So I planned this, and I was testing everything, I think, Wednesday. And although I had troubles setting up OBS, which is this program that helps you stream stuff and adds you can stream games with it, you can stream your browser, you can have an image, you can have your webcam showing, and I had a hard time figuring it out, and at the end it worked and everything was okay. So YouTube found my OBS program and found the stream, but as soon as I said start streaming, it just would not work, which kind of sucks. And I was afraid that it might happen. I'm always terrified about these live streams because I don't know anything about the technical aspect of live streaming. And so if anything goes wrong, I'm screwed. If my sound goes wrong, I'm screwed. If something's with the image or lag or whatever, I don't know what to do. I should look more into it, although I thought I had figured it out at least a little bit. Let's take a drink because I started sweating from the problems. Anyway, so let's talk about nothing and everything, right? It's hot in Belgium. That's the first thing. So I went to work. Inside, it was at least 32 degrees, and we don't have air conditioning, so that was terrible. I was sweating all day, and yeah, now it's sweating because of the stress for this live stream. So I came home and I was a little bit relaxed. I thought everything was okay. I figured it out. It's going to work. So I saw a little bit of the Tour de France today. And well, actually, I saw, 32 inside. That's degrees Celsius, by the way. It's Celsius here. It's hot. And officially, we should be allowed to have, I think, 15 minutes break, heat break every hour. As soon as it's over 29, I think. So that's the official thing. Of course, there is no boss in this entire country that will say, let's do those breaks. Of course not. So it was huffing and puffing, and yesterday it was even hotter. So yeah. Anyway, yeah, it was. Yeah, if it was Fahrenheit, I would be freezing to death. I would not be sweating. At this moment, maybe a minute of 32 Fahrenheit would be very cool. Anyway, I was watching the Tour de France, and that was crazy. So they were going, and I think there was a new leader because there was someone who was doing very well, and he was virtually first in the ranking. And at a certain point in the mountains, it started hailing, a lot of hail, and it was undoable. So they stopped the race. It was craziness. It wasn't safe if they would have kept going, but that was strange. So it's 0 degrees. Oh, I would love to have 0 degrees Celsius for maybe 2 minutes. There was this day when it was very cold in Belgium, and I promised myself that I would never complain in summer that it was too hot. That was before this fake news of the earth heating up was there. No, it's crazy. Last year was a crazy summer. It was so hot, so dry, and this year it looks like it's going to be even worse. And we're getting a complete different climate here in Belgium. So 25 degrees is the best. It's awesome. I think it's going to be 25 on Monday, so that's a great temperature. You can still walk in your t-shirt without sweating like I do. By the way, Ignacy, you're probably not watching, but I have this mug of board games that tell stories, and for live streaming, I have to do it left-handed, so everybody can see this. Anyway, I'm not here to make commercials. So yeah, I've been watching some Tour de France, and besides that, I have been working. I wonder, are there some people here that are following the Tour de France? I'm not a real cyclist fanatic, honestly. I hate riding a bike. Well, I don't hate it, but I'm not good at it. Not that I fall, but my butt hurts very fast, and I just cannot. I can drive a while, I think, but ride a while, but I don't like it. I don't like it, especially when there's wind. So it's just a crazy sport. People, for fun or for their job, riding a bike for hundreds of kilometers, it's crazy. Where's Mr. Robinson? Well, Mr. Robinson has disappeared, which is something that doesn't happen a lot. And the other cat is sleeping. They also suffer from the heat, that's for sure. They're looking for the coolest spots in the house. Hey, Christian, welcome to the live stream, this emergency live stream. It was not what I had planned. He's at work, so thanks for stop working for a little while and joining us. Thanks for being here. Kabuki Kid, I'm so out of the loop with the Tour de France that I didn't even know it was happening until you mentioned it. Then again, I follow almost no sports. Yeah, I've been following it this year a little bit more because the Belgians are doing okay. We already had a few winning a stage, so that's pretty cool. And besides that, it's more exciting than last year's when there is always a clear winner. And this year it's pretty exciting. But I tend to watch many different sports. I've been following the NBA last season. I follow football, of course, because I'm a football player myself. I like watching American football as well. If you know when that starts, the new season, let me know, because I'm eager to see that again. Yeah, I like sports. I like watching sports on television. I don't like watching sports that much live as a supporter because I want to play myself, whatever sport it is. I originally thought the title of this video was "Life Sucks." Yeah, that's the wordplay I was going for. So it's "Life Sucks." So no worries. Life is still okay, even with YouTube messing my plans up. So yeah. Normally, even for the channel, normally those videos where I go over these lists for game releases at conventions, they're quite popular. So I thought that would be a cool idea to do it again, and maybe I will try it again one of these days before. Yeah, I was thinking about doing the Vitruvian Life as a title, but I thought that might be even harder to spot that it was a wordplay. So maybe I try it again later to live stream the Gen Con preview. Who is your favorite football team? Oh, I did an episode about that, about all the things going on with my favorite football team. So it's a Belgian team, of course, and it's called KV Mechelen, which is a team with quite a good history. It's they exist for quite a bit now, but they were well. There is this suspicion that they tried to bribe another team 2 years ago when they were fighting against relegation, and so there was a big process which ended not long ago, because last year, so they still did relegate. They played champion, and then there was this whole process about, are they still going to be able to play in first class again in the first league again, which they do apparently. So they are allowed to play, but they are not allowed to play European football, which they also should have been playing because they won the cup as well. So that's just sad. Besides that, favorite teams depends. I mostly have favorite teams because there are Belgians playing in teams. So I like, it's not love because it can change in the future, but I like Manchester City, Manchester United. So they're rivals, but I like both of them, but they both have Belgian players. I'm rooting for Dortmund to win the German league this year, because they have two Belgians now, Witsel and Hazard's brother, Eden Hazard's brother, Torgan. I will not root for Real Madrid. I'm sorry, I don't like Real Madrid. So even though our best player, Eden Hazard, went there, I wish him all the best, but yeah. Preseason football starts August 1st. Just Google it. Thank you for Googling it. I hadn't Googled it yet. I was too lazy, probably. All right. So, yeah. So I'm sorry about this, folks. So what really happened is, so I'm not sure if there are people who ever did live streaming on YouTube. So there is this encoder program that you have to activate. You have to start streaming there, and then YouTube says, "Okay, we have a signal, so that works." And then you have to start streaming, and then it says, "I cannot start the stream." So let me know if that happened to you and what your solution was, I guess. Kabuki Kid doesn't have a favorite football team. My favorite basketball team, though, for the NBA is I think the Celtics. They have something. There is something about the hall they play in, and it's a real team. They have to play for each other. They don't have the biggest stars, but they still are very good. I like the underdog. I tend to root for the underdog. So. And I don't know enough about American football to have a favorite team there. And Kabuki Kid has been to more New York Giant games than any other. I hope to go to the United States once and watch a basketball game. I think that would be cool. It's a cool sport to watch because there's always stuff happening. While if you watch normal football, it might be boring. So no sports persons here. Let's talk about something else then. Board games. Okay, so people, if you're not looking at the list of Gen Con, are there any people going to Gen Con, or are there any people who already looked at the list and are looking forward to some games being shown or being sold there for the first time? I haven't looked at it yet. I wonder why the Celtics are pronounced with a soft C. Yeah, true. Might be something American, although the there is this football team as well, the Celtic Rangers, and they're from Ireland, I think, and they also say Celtic. So what? Because Celtic is with a K, right? That's why it's with a soft C, I guess. We should Google it. I don't know. The basketball team. Yeah, the basketball team with a C. Yeah. I don't. Yeah, Celtics. I'm a big fan of the guy that was MVP, whose name I cannot pronounce. He plays with the Milwaukee Bucks, I think. That was looked like a nice guy. He was really endeared with being called MVP of the year. I don't look at those lists or anticipation lists. I prefer to wait until all the hype dies down. Yeah, hype is dangerous, of course. A lot of these games are hyped and probably overhyped, and that's dangerous. So I tend to so I don't go to Gen Con, obviously, but I go to Spiel in Essen, and I do a lot of research before I decide to put anything on my have to buy list, because it was different when I started this hobby, but I bought stupid games in the past, which were very much overhyped, and I'm way more careful now not to buy games that are not as interesting as people are trying to think they are. It's, of course, marketing and stuff like that, and every publisher is allowed to create hype for their games, and fans of publishers or fans of certain designers will create that hype as well, because they don't want to believe that it might not be a good game. I have the same thing with Portal Games, and I admit that if Portal Games announces a new game, I'm all in. I'm all hyped, and I tend to go with the hype and spread the hype. But it might not be worth it. It might be a bad game. You never know. So it's a dangerous thing. You have to be very careful. That's why I do the list, but I continue with more research after that. Celtic football team is from Scotland. Ranger. Oh yeah, it's from Scotland. I'm sorry. It sounds. I always think it's because of the colors. They play green-white, right? So it looks Irish. I wonder why. Because everyone seems to say it like Celtics when it refers to anything other than the team, when it refers to the actual Celts. Exactly. Hey, Dutch Yoda, welcome. Welcome to this live stream, which is, well, an emergency plan for the live stream that I hope to do. Oh, man. So, Gen Con. I don't have a lot to say. I think I should have now. I'm going to talk more about Gen Con in the future for sure. I'm going to still try to figure out the live stream, and we'll see. But I might go over the list already, and maybe if the live stream doesn't work, I might still make a list. Maybe my top 20 games that I'm most interested at. I can spoil it a little bit maybe by going very quickly over the geek preview here. So let's see if I can see some. I'm just going to say some titles. I'm curious about, let's see, Point Salad, which is a small game, 2 to 6 players, which will be for sale there. And I heard a good review about that one as well. So already. So I'm curious. It's from Elderac Entertainment Group. So AEG is doing that. So I'm curious about that one. Let's see if there are some others. I'm curious to see what the Carnival of Monsters is going to be. So that's from from Amigo, and this is by designer Richard Garfield, who of course is known for his Magic the Gathering and the Keyforge as well now, of course. And it had a Kickstarter 2 years ago, which didn't fail. It was already over $200,000, I think, and then they stopped the Kickstarter. They canceled it, and 2 years later, now they're going to release it without Kickstarter. And the artwork is cool, but it looks like they're focusing their marketing very much on the artwork and less about the gameplay. But it's a drafting game from Richard Garfield. I'm interested, so I'm looking forward to see what this game is all about and if it's worth Richard Garfield's legacy, of course, because he has it's hard to be the designer of maybe the best game you can discuss about that, of course, but probably one of the most successful games ever made. See if I can find something else that oh yeah, Silver by Bezier Bezier Games. I'm curious about that one. It's a game set in the world of their werewolf games again, and that might be milked out. I don't like werewolf, honestly, the game. I hate bluffing and lying and stuff like that in games. So, and Magic was a stroke of genius. It's I've played it for years. So Silver in the world of werewolf, where you're trying to get rid of cards, play cards, and they also have special effects of cards, and you want to have the lowest point cards at the end of a round. But it looks cool. It has cool artwork. And I think this is a game that I can play, even though even in English it doesn't have too much text. And I'm curious about what the game is all about. So maybe finally again a game of Bezier games that I will like. Let's see. There's something new. Oh yeah, this might be my number one anticipated game. I pre-ordered it, so it should arrive right after Gen Con, and that's Sierra West from Board and Dice. I guess Garfield likes drafting. Buckingham is all drafting. Yeah, but it's also a lot of area control stuff. I don't like that too much, so I decided not to get that game. But I like drafting, so I'm curious to see what he does there and if it's a good game. So Sierra West looks like a very cool game. It uses multi-use cards, which I really like, and they remind me a little bit of La Granja, where you have to put cards in slots. And depending on where you put the cards, you get different actions that your workers will do. And you're trying to mine stuff and go up a mountain and gain points in all different ways. And it looks cool. I saw a solo playthrough of Rado, and I decided to pre-order it after that because it looks pretty cool. It was on my radar for longer already, but I didn't have the chance to look at it for decently. I saw the demo being played at UK Game Expo, but I didn't have time to play it myself. Magic started the whole drafting thing. Not sure if Garfield came up with that though. Yeah, it's a good question. I don't think that he did. I guess he didn't. I think that was by the players. I assume because when I started Magic, I started when Revised was out, and I think drafting wasn't a big thing yet at that time, but it became a big thing later, especially when they started to make these starter packs, the bigger boxes, where you could draft with, or you could already play with if you wanted. That was when it really got big. All right, let's see what else we have in the list that tickles my fancy at first sight. Let's see. No. I'm skipping probably a lot of awesome games that some people might find very interesting. I see Pipeline and Watergate and stuff like that. I'm not interested in them, but there's probably a lot of people who are. I'm sad I cannot show you the list. Oh man, this really sad. I will have to make up that for that. That was when I started Magic 2 with Revised. I don't remember drafting being a thing either. Sealed was a thing. Yeah, Sealed. That's how it was called. Sealed. That was how it first started, and then they started drafting as well, which I really like doing. I think we almost did the draft tournament every Saturday at a place where we played Magic. I really like doing that. But I never played very seriously. I always played for fun, so I made decks that were fun, but also decent. So a lot of people were not prepared for the decks that I made. So that was fun. I'm waiting on Pipeline board game. Yeah, Ruby, it's hyped, this game, and it's probably a good game for people who like these heavier games. It has tile laying, which I really like, but it's not my thing. It's also not the team that I can get my friends warmed up for and play the game. So it's not for me, but hey, I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it's a good game. Not sure when I stopped with Magic. Totally forgot the versions. Yeah, I think I played for 6 years before I stopped playing. I was so addicted. I spent a lot of money, but I made a lot of friends at the time and had a lot of fun. So I have no regrets at all. Now they design the packs with drafting in mind. Yeah, of course. It's so popular drafting that's smart thing to do. It's crazy how Wizard of the Coast keeps on renewing this game and keeping it alive. It's so old actually, and it's still so much alive. It's unbelievable. So an interesting game as well is from Cranio Creations, Mystery House Adventures in a Box, which is apparently something with the box where you put stuff in and you can look through hallways and stuff like that. And so it plays in about an hour, and they will have more. Will have more scenarios that you can play in the future with that box. So that sounds cool. It sounds like very innovating and interesting. It's maybe escape roomish. I'm very curious about that. Also, Masters of Renaissance, Lorenzo Il Machinfo, so the card game. It has a cool cover, and that's all I know about it. Let's see. I'm still playing. Never stopped. I play with the same people. Oh, I wish I did. I had the chance to play with those people as well. I'm sad I'm not playing anymore. I tried to get back into Magic 7 years ago now, or 6 years ago, but I just it changed so much that I couldn't. I had to spend a lot of money to get into it. So I decided to play board games, which also cost me a lot of money. I know. Sad. I'm also waiting for Posthuman Saga board game. Oh, that looks like a good game as well. Posthuman. Never played it, but it looks cool. It looks cool. And Focus. Hi, Focus. Good to see you here. Tried Mystery House in Burlingame. It's pretty good. Like the sound of that. So I'm very my curiosity has grown even more. N20 games. Oh, hi, my friend. You got it working. Well, this live stream I got working. It works with, as you can see in the corner somewhere, it works with Google Hangouts, and that's no problem. I can go online and start a live stream immediately. But an event, apparently, with this encoder program, I cannot get to work. I wanted to show you my my desktop, of course, my screen, my browser, so I could go to the Gen Con list on Board Game Geek, but that didn't work out, so I had to start a new stream and just chat with you and talk a little bit about the games that, on first sight, I think they're interested. If I can get this live streaming to work properly, I might still do the list before Gen Con. We'll see. The new Magic Arena client allows you to play online for free. Yeah, I have the game on my laptop. I've played it a couple of times, but I have so many games, board games and video games that I want to play that I just haven't put that much time in it. But it looks cool, and I hear from other people that it is really well done, the Magic Arena game. I bought 2 dual decks to teach my son. Still needs to happen. I did the same thing to teach the game to Elisa and to my sister with success. Like those dual decks. They're very cool. All right, nice way to do it, Yoda. Yeah, that's a good way to get the kids into card games and Magic. I've got so much Magic, and I have a friend in my board game club that still wants to do this cube stuff. So with a gazillion different cards and draft with that one. So we still need to plan that. So that's going to happen, sure. He played Magic the Gathering back in the 90s and collected more than 5,000 cards. I cringe when I even think about it. Yeah, I got all my cards still lying upstairs, and I've thought about selling them, but I can't. It's a vintage cube, yeah. Play with all the best cards. Yeah. No, it's not all the best cards. It's just all the cards. If I teach him, I might have to stop his allowance. Yeah, if he's going all in, then it's going to be expensive. So let's continue watching that geek list here while I'm chatting with you all. By the way, thank you for being on the chat. 8 people, which is pretty cool, even though it's not the chat that I promised or the live stream that I promised. I gave mine away when I moved from Boston to Seattle. That's very generous of you. I could not do that. Honestly, I'm honest in that. way, it's just not possible for me to get rid of my magic cards. I should one day, but not today. That's for sure. It's not going to happen today. Let's see what else is interesting. Oh, they're demoing. So it's only for demo, but they're demoing Floor Plan, which is deep water games. Floor Plan is a roll and write game or a flip and write game as well. No, it has dice, so a roll and write game. I think from the designers or the publishers from Welcome to, which is my favorite roll and write. So, and in this game, you are building the blueprint or the plan of a house with a garden with rooms. Looks cool. I like the cover, and I'm really interested in that one. So that's one I'm looking forward to. So if someone plays it, let me know if it's any good. Not today. No. Hey, Ekurisona. Welcome to the chat. No, I'm not going to give or sell my games today. And I'm playing Robo Rally tonight. I never played, and so someone insisted that I come out and play it this week. Yeah, it's one of my oldest games that I have. That I still have because I already had it before I started playing board games seriously like I do now. And I used to like it quite a bit because there was nothing else like it that I knew of. And now I still think it's okay. I don't love the game. If there's enough players and you don't make the board too big and a lot of things are happening, it's very fun. And you have to play with people that understand that this is a hectic game and your programming can go wrong. And I don't mind that, but there are people that don't like it. So that's a thing. But I don't mind Robo Rally, honestly. There are games that replaced it, like Magic Maze and stuff like that, with some programming. Or the big one, the big box, help me, from League of Legends makers, Mix versus Minions. I prefer that over a Robo Rally. I'm curious about the Decrypto expansion. Love that game. Not sure what they add to the game with the expansion. Oh man, I don't have the Decrypto yet. I played it once, and it was not even the real game. It was a copy on paper that Ignacy Cevicek at UK Game Expo made on the go while we were having dinner, and we played it, and I loved it quite a bit. And I have been waiting for a Dutch version to be released, which there is now. So I should get that game one of these weeks or months in my collection. I have not heard of the expansion yet because I'm still waiting to get or want to get the base game. But it's a cool game. I really liked it. Kabuki Kid also loves Robo Rally. Strong recommend you don't do a big map or a lot of flags for a first game. Yeah, don't go for a big map for the first time. That's indeed a good tip. It has been on my shelf of shame forever. It's a Robo Rally, really? Yeah, it's also collecting dust in my collection, but it's one of those games that it's from back in the old days, so it's cool for memories' sake. The more the better. Yeah, the more the better players. Indeed, Magic Maze is different. Yeah, it gives me a little bit of the same feeling, but of course it's very different on the other side. Did you see all the new neighborhoods that are coming to Welcome to? I do have 2 of them. There's one expansion that adds bunkers and Easter eggs to it. Well, you have papers with bunkers and you have papers with Easter eggs that you can collect. And I have that expansion. The others are not available yet in Belgium, I think. So I have not done that. I've played the one with the eggs, and we were so focused on the egg collecting that we scored such a low score, which it's a dangerous thing if you play with the eggs. I'm curious about the bunker version, and we should play that pretty soon here. That's for sure, because we love Welcome to. Really, it's one of my favorite games. I love programming games. There are not many to this day. No, programming it's also that thing that a lot of people don't like, programming games. You know The Legend of Robo Rally, right? That was the game Garfield wanted originally to get published, and the publisher said it was too much for them to do first. Oh, really? But they could do a car game, so they asked if Yeah, the card game, and he showed it with Magic. Wow. What if Magic never had been made? That would be a strange world for me, and for a lot of board gamers. Yeah. What was the programming game where you were on the Wild West train? I think. Oh, yeah, that's a good one. That's also one of my favorite games, called Express. I like that one. That's fun. Also, everything can go wrong in your plan from your plans that you made, but oh, it's so fun. Plays fast and it's very fun. Cool team. Looks cool on the table with the 3D model train. Pretty cool game called Express. Like it a lot. Do you think it's worth getting the whiteboards for Welcome to? If they will do it, it's certainly worth it. We laminated a couple of papers and a couple of sheets and play it that way, because we would almost have gone through the complete block if we wouldn't have, because we play it a lot here with friends, and even with the two of us, with Elisa and me. So yeah, we also have the Quicks Deluxe edition, for example, with the whiteboard cardboard stuff. We are very happy to have that one. It's so easy to use and wipe off. I prefer my roll and writes with wipe off stuff instead of paper. So yeah, Robo Rally was produced in the end because of Magic. Wow. Yeah, a world without MTG. That would be crazy. Yeah, Cold Express, that's one. Yes, Lord of Xidit may be my favorite programming game. I never played that. When it released, I wasn't that interested in it, honestly, because of some of the mechanisms in it that I didn't care for too much. Looks cool. It looks beautiful though. So I didn't know it. Yeah, it had programming. Now that I think of it, yeah, the programming thing sounded cool. I laminated some Welcome to sheets too. That's the sentence there. Yeah, laminating stuff. Friends of ours just bought Welcome to as well, because they also liked it that much, and they gave us some papers to laminate here because they don't have a laminating machine. So I still have to laminate those sheets for them. Yeah, I should start a laminating business. Might be an idea. All right, let's go back to the list. Lol, I should have typed as well. Yeah, but Welcome to sheets too. Sounds a little bit more poetic. Still working on a small PvP programming game. Oh, always curious to hear more about that, Mr. Dutch Yoga. How are the games you're developing? Did you find that flash drive? No, I did not. Oh man, it drives me crazy. So I still have I found on the laptop my files from Photoshop for my Dutch version, and I still have my Dutch rule book, but I don't have the English version of the cards anymore and the English rule book. So I have to translate and redo everything for the English prototype, which I need to send to a publisher that I asked if they might be interested. That's a lot of work, which I don't feel like doing, but I should do that in the very near future. I hate it. So yeah, no, the flash drive. I think I have to give up hope to find it. It's gone. It has disappeared, and I don't know where. Oh man, the old Broadsides and Boarding Parties game was a 1v1 programming game. Never heard of that one. Broadsides and Boarding Parties. Does it have something to do with pirates? Maybe, I don't know. Yeah, sad face. Yeah, my flash drive. Man, maybe I have a decent prototype ready for Essen if you want to check it out. I'm always interested in checking out prototypes from people that I know. I think prototypes have something mysterious and magic to them, and they always look better than the prototypes I make. So that's also something. I'm always jealous of other people's prototypes. Somehow they always look like better games as well. So yeah, welcome to Doomsday Thematic Neighborhoods is also here, but I think we have that one. That's the one with the bunkers, and there's also a Halloween one. We should have that, and an Outbreak one as well. Wow, interesting. And there's also a Welcome to Solo Mode expansion. And a spring expansion. Oh, that's with the Easter eggs. And a summer expansion. And the winter expansion. Wow, so many expansions for Welcome to. It's just maybe a little bit too much. Although it's fun to have different papers each time you play. So yeah. Broadsides, it's from like 1981, I think, has giant plastic chips, very overproduced, especially for the game. From the Milton Bradley Game Master line, same as line. Oh, Access. I do have a box of Access and Allies still on my attic. It's unplayed, but it has gotten damaged, the box. So it's still in their springs, all the models in it, but it's not a game for me. Such a long area control tactic game. It's not for me. I would suck at it. I have a programming game designed on paper. I have to make a prototype. So in 20 games, he's designing as well. And I've got a game of him lying here, which I will, one of these days or weeks, will definitely cover on this channel, because he was so friendly to send me this. And so Have a Cow will be on this channel soon-ish. I have to play it a few times more before I will make that video. Let's see, especially for the time is what I meant to type. Yeah. Especially for the game. Yeah, especially for the time. I remember Fortress America. That was fun. Yeah, though those games is not my thing, but I'm glad those games exist and people are having fun with them. I grew up on Axis and Allies, played probably over 100 games over the years. Yeah. I had friends playing Axis and Allies and they played for hours and hours, and they stopped, and they came back together the next week and continued their game. And I was like, no, this is not for me. But it must be a good game. It's still famous and still has expansions and stuff like that. So thanks for the free publicity. You're welcome. Go check out N20 Games on the game. How is it called again? Help me. What's the site? You will tell me. Have you played the Robinson Crusoe expansion much? How is it now that you had it a while? Oh, folks, I'm ashamed. No, I haven't. So I played it once to try out before I did my playthrough here, and I did my playthrough, and I haven't played since. There is still the campaign I have to do, and I'm so ashamed as the guy that loves Robinson. So yeah. The Game Crafter. It's not live yet. Better to watch my Twitter. So follow N20 Games on Twitter and wait for his games to be available on the Game Crafter, or maybe Kickstarter in the future. Who knows? For shame. Yeah, exactly. For shame. Yeah, I should play that game more often, but it's a difficult one to get on the table sometimes. And I know you can play it solo, but I prefer playing with more players lately. And that's it. Bad Curly, that's what Ignacy would say. Yeah, I know. I can't truly scold. I bought the expansion, haven't tried it yet myself. Okay. Then I'm feeling a little bit less guilty. Still looking forward to do the campaign one of these. But I have so many campaign games that I still have to play or finish. That it's just, oh man, it's hard to start a new campaign. And there are a lot of things coming as well. I backed some games on Kickstarter, all of these campaign games. I keep backing them, and they will arrive someday, and then I need to find time to play them as well. Oh, how will I do that? I'm not sure. All right, so I'm still, again, looking through the list here, and I really should take a good look at it one of these days, because there are a lot of games on this list, and I'm probably skipping over over very good games here. That's why I'm looking forward to see everybody showing their purchases and seeing all these reviews online of those games. so I know what I should spend my money on. The Haba game Honga, it has been released for a while now, I think, but it sounds good. I've heard good things about it, that's for sure. And see, you still need to do 51st State Allies. I still need to do that unboxing, right? I promise to do that. I'll do that soonish. I promise. It's a promise. I don't make promises normally on this channel, but I will do that. I have a hard time getting Robinson Crusoe to the table too. Yeah, it's hard to get to the table somehow. Although it's a very exciting game, very thematic, and if you play it, you have so much fun. It's my #1 game of all time. And I still have a hard time getting it played. I only play games once a week these days, and I play down at the shop near me. I just don't have the space or budget for buying games these days. Yeah, I do have the budget, but I don't have the space anymore either. Play once a week too. Yeah, I play some games during the week with Elisa, 2-player games, and most of the time once a week with some friends as well. I want to go back to Japan in October, and my sister wants me to go with her to Europe in 2020. Yeah, saving money is the... Yeah, we're also thinking about going on another trip next year. And so each year we go to Greece for the past years, but we want to go to Finland and go to the north part of Finland to go see the Northern Light with people that we know who live there in Finland. But it's going to be expensive as well. I found I spend far more time researching game art, theme, mechanisms, and systems than I do playing them. The ratio has to be at least 100 to 1. And Kabuki Kid agrees. It's the same thing for Kabuki. And it's honestly, I think, about the same for me. I listen to podcasts. I watch YouTube videos. I read on Board Game Geek about these games. And all the time I'm doing that, I am not playing board games. Hey, it's also fun, right? Right? Yeah, it is. All right, let's see that list again. All right, I'm not going to take too long because Elisa is getting home in 25 minutes and I want to end the stream at least before that. So there's this thing also for sale. Oh, it's expensive. The King's Dilemma, which is a kind of a legacy game with a hidden traitor where you have to make decisions as a king. So you have to make these decisions. You have these choices. Seems cool, although a traitor, I'm not sure if it's for me, but it looks cool. The Northern Lights are beautiful. Saw them while in Iceland a few years ago. Yeah, it's on my bucket list, so we have to do it. We still didn't go on a real honeymoon yet, and that might be the trip that we consider our honeymoon. Are there game cafes or shops where you can play nearby? No, it's in Antwerp Central. There are 2 of the same chain. They're pretty cool, but it's just too much hassle for me to get there. I love where I live, and it's nearby stores, and I have everything that I need here. But to get to the center of Antwerp, it's just a pain. Legacy games make me nervous. I don't know if I could throw away cards. The first time is hard, and after that, it's okay. And I know there can be jokes about what I just said. I'm sorry about that. Gaming and studying up on board games seems to go hand in hand. Yes, that's correct indeed. It's very funny and rewarding, engaging and interesting, so just go with it. Sometimes I feel it leads to game design ideas, but then I just go back to researching more games. Indeed. I'm trying to make myself go to some local game meets. I'm a bit introverted and work wears me out during the week, so I'm finding it hard to motivate myself. I'm an introvert as well, and this channel has helped me a lot. Loving games of one publisher and joining a demo team for them, Portable Games, has helped me a lot as well. But still going to meetings, going to conventions alone, for example, and walking around, I'm lost. Honestly, I still am lost in that when I do that. So I'm happy to demo games and then walk around for a short while on my own and then go back to demoing. It's it's difficult. I know how you feel, folks. I really do. It's not easy being an introvert. That's for sure. But board games are a good cure in many ways, at least, to be social and to have fun with people and to have stuff to talk about with awesome community. That's that's probably the biggest reason why I love board games so much. This community and the way it has changed me as a person and has helped me in my introvertness. It's not a word. I don't see if I find something else that's interesting. Probably, but oh yeah. So it's still for demo. So the adventure games dungeon. It's this new line of escape games as well. It looks cool. It's from Cosmos. I'm really curious about that one, but it's for demo only. So I'm really curious when that will be in Dutch, and I will definitely get that. That's for sure. And consider what is your favorite game of the moment? Lately, I've been playing One Word at the shop. Always fun and lots of laughs. One Word is just one game, right? So yeah, I like that quite a bit as well. But my favorite game at this moment, and I know I'm going to say two. I'm going to say two games because one might, of course, is from Portal Games, and it's unfair, of course, but it's the truth. I'm really loving Empires of the North. Very cool new game in the Imperial Settlers universe. Really like it quite a bit. And besides that, don't have it lying here, but it's Fantasy Realms, which is a small card game by WizKids. And it's just so good. It's so simple. It's very simple design. It's a kind of set collection that you're doing when all cards are different and they have synergies with each other, and you're trying to score as much points because you can score bonus points if you have different cards, and you can get penalties if you have other cards. And so you're trying to get the right 7 cards in your hand. You start out with 7 cards, and each turn you have to draw a card, or either from the blind, from the draw pile, or from the open discard area. And then you have to discard the game in that discard area for yourself from your hand. And so at the end, you also have 7 cards. And it ends when there are 10 cards in the middle of the table. And then you score points. Very cool game. I really like it. Fantasy Realms. Empires of the North and QE for me. QE. Help me. What's QE? It's probably something very simple, but I am. QE. Let me know. Forget if you said it before. Do you have a favorite game to play solo? Do you even play anything solo? I used to play a lot of solo games, and I don't do that anymore. Although this is still a channel where there are solo playthroughs, but I don't have that time to play solo anymore because I really want to play with more people, at least one besides myself. And yeah, so very few solo gaming going on. I do back games that I'm going to play solo. I did back some games like Ether Fields, or what's the thing, Tainted Grail, and all that stuff. I'm going to play those solo, I decided. I think, or I might have Elisa join me. I'm not sure yet. It's a new bidding game with no limits. Oh, I hate bidding games, folks. Let's see. Just played Fantasy Realms for the first time last week. I liked it a lot better than I thought I would. Yeah, it looks like it's crap. It has a stupid title. It doesn't look great, the box at least. And oh, it's such a good game. Quantitative easing. Wow, what a title. You can bid any amount, but the person who spent the most at the end of the game automatically loses. Okay, that's a cool concept in a bidding thing. Still, I don't like bidding. There are a few games that are the exception, but Maybe this QE is one of them. I've played Fantasy Realms several times over the last few years at my FLGS group. I really like it. Saw Jamie Stegmaier mentioned in a video recently too. Yeah, it should get more attention, I think. It's a small portable game that plays wonderful, in my opinion. I used to play a solo game called Ambush. I was a hex and tile. It was a hex and tile game, I guess, and I ate up a year of my life. Wow, again an old game. Jamie lost Fantasy Realms. Good for you, Jamie. Hex and tile, yes, indeed. I don't like bidding, but I do like Q&A. So let's see. Yeah, so there are exceptions, so I might like it as well. And yeah, you could play it only once, and she won. That's cool. That's cool. It's always good to win the first game, all right? Then you like it a little bit more than you might do otherwise. Maybe. See, for people who played Imhotep and liked it, there is this 2-player version coming up. Imhotep the Duel. So that's cool. And I'm curious about Wonky. It's this cooperative game that has some Dixit elements or Mysterium elements to it. That looks pretty cool. So I want to play that first. Also, an expansion for Baron Park. Sounds cool. It looks cool as well. It has some 3D elements to the game. It's only for demo, sadly enough. But I think it's already for sale here in Belgium. So yeah, I'm curious about that one. Because I like Baron Park, but I can use something added to it. Great Ambush, great game. I still have my copy too. John Butterfield Design, he just did Space Corp. So he's still going. He's still going. You have these designers that keep on going, and that's a good thing. I even bought an upgrade deck for Ambush a few years back. It was a nice addition. Yeah. I don't have that game. I don't have such a game that I played since the 80s that I still go back to and still gets new stuff added to it. So I'm happy for you. It's cool. I envy you a little bit, honestly. See, they're demoing the Big City 20th Anniversary Jumbo Edition. So Big City is one of the favorite games of Ignacy Cevicek, and I know, and I'm not sure if I can tell you, but I know he wanted to publish that game, but he couldn't find the rights to it, so he didn't know who had the rights for this game. And now Mercury Games has this Big City 20th Anniversary Jumbo Edition, which is so expensive. It was on Kickstarter. It was so expensive that I just didn't back it. And it looks cool, but I'm sad it has to be that expensive and overproduced. It deserves more people playing it, and now it's still not possible. Oh yeah, Mondo Games, it's Mondo Games. Okay, it has this Unmatched series. That sounds pretty cool. So you play this area movement, battle, hand management games with all these battle legends like Bruce Lee apparently as well, and Jurassic Park, the Indian versus the Raptors, Robin Hood versus Bigfoot, and so on. So that looks like a pretty neat game. A lot of wargamers still make videos about it. It's a well-loved game. Favorite polyomino game? I like polyomino games. Elise is not that good at it. I always win with playing Patchwork, and we also have one of the ones with the summer, not the summer one, but the autumn one, I think, with the cats. And I like those games quite a bit, and Baron Park as well. But I think my favorite has to be released and just got funded. Well, the Kickstarter just ended on Kickstarter, of course, and that's Isle of Cats. I think that's going to be my favorite polyomino game of them all. It looks so cool. I backed it as soon as I saw it on Kickstarter. The Dutch version of Baron Park expansion has been available for a month. I like it. So it would be a good buy. Then I will probably buy it. Ambush is sort of pricey now if you want to seek out a copy. I probably won't, but it's sad that some things have to be so expensive for people who want those things. polyomino games are red hot right now. Seems like there are a ton coming out. They are like the new rolling rides. Yeah, or they're combined, right? You have this patchwork rolling ride and stuff like that. So all these Tetris rolling rides as well. So they're merging. Do you have many European releases of board games, or do you mostly buy the English language versions? Yeah, as most people, a lot of people wait for the Dutch version to be released, because most of the time when the game gets released in English, there is a Dutch publisher that announces the Dutch version, which would come a little bit later. Of course, I have this channel and I need these games sooner to be up to date, right? That's what you have when you have a board gaming channel on YouTube. And I don't mind English. I prefer English myself, but that's sometimes a problem for friends of mine. If there's a lot of text, I do better and to wait for a Dutch version, but I have mostly English copies. Yeah. There's something just so satisfying about fitting odd shapes pieces together. Yeah, I played a lot of Tetris when I was young, and I even had back in the days there was this Tetris game on the computer at the place where I played Magic as well, and I played a lot of Tetris there on that computer, and I broke the game. It wasn't prepared for a player scoring that much points. That was funny. So it suddenly put a minus in front of my score and started counting back upwards to 0. I had to make a new folder in my browser for poly games. Yeah, there's a lot of them. Isle of Cats looks great. Yeah, it's cats to start with, but it also looks like a very decent game. It looks cool. It's colorful. That's a game that I can get on the table for sure. It's getting a ton of great buzz. Rado flipped for it, even though he's a dog person, I think. So yeah, so it looks like it's a decent game with some depth to it. You can play a family mode, apparently, but the complete game has some meat to it. So I really look forward to that. I cannot wait to have that copy arriving at my doorstep. Have you guys had a chance to try Tiny Towns yet? No, not yet. Tiny Towns, that's the one where you put the cubes and then build a building, right? I'm trying to buy a copy, but they're sold out here in Belgium, so I'm waiting to get... or is it Small Towns? Oh, there are 2 town games at this moment, so... Did you watch a replay of the moon landing the other day? I stayed up and watched the entire replay. Oh, really? That's cool. So that's pretty neat. So cool thing about that, 50 years ago, the moon landing, and I have my birthday on the same day. So I'm not 50 years old, but so I watched the documentary about the moon landing. That I did that, but I didn't watch the live replay of it. No, I didn't. I played Tiny Towns, a good game also, so fits into the polyomino mold in a way. Yeah, you do that shape, and yeah, cool. There's a real place called Isle of Cats of Japan. Ooh, interesting. Tiffany, the One Tower streamed Small Town last night. Yeah, it gets a lot of buzz. Speaking of the moon landing, there seems to be a lot of space games these days. Many are kind of retro too. Yeah, there is this one game, Space Race. No, something with space, but I should look it up. But then I get out of my list here, so I'm going to check that soon. Let's see, where am I? I'm at Overworld Games. So there is at the beginning of the list, there's Space Explorers, which I think uses the same artist as Space Race, and that really looks retro. That's pretty cool. And you have the solo game, Leaving Earth as well. It also has a retro look to it. I want to play that once, but it's very expensive to get, the Leaving Earth game. Vindication, I backed. Oh, Undaunted. It's deck pool building, but also a war game-ish from Osprey Games. That looked pretty cool. Very interesting. Rodney Smith on What She Played did how to play video about that. That's looked pretty cool. Where's the chat? Where's the chat? Oh, a lot of chat stuff. My birthday is the 16th when they launch For the Moon. Look at that. That's a cool coincidence. Mars games too. Yeah, they all have that retro look, which I don't mind. I really like that retro look. Gives it a little bit more. I don't know. Je ne sais quoi. Leaving Earth is worth it. Yeah, I believe you, Kabuki. It should be really, really, really good. I started I started it up on Tabletop Simulator once, but I didn't know what I was doing, so I should get the game with the rules and try it out. Apollo 11 documentary produced by CNN was fantastic. The footage was so pristine; it looked like it was filmed yesterday. I was so impressed about on Blu-ray. Cool, yeah. So you like those space things? It is cool. It is interesting. The moon landing. It's a very cool historical event. I've seen people raving about Space Explorer 2, which also had the vintage poster art style. Yeah, it's cool artwork. I really like the artwork. That's also why I bought Space Race at the time. The artwork was so appealing. All right. Oh yeah, they're going to sell Magic Koro Legacy. I'm not sure what I have to do. Apparently the gameplay is almost the same as Magic Koro, so I'm not really sure I want that because... And the Undo games, I'm waiting for English versions of Undo games. It's kind of a escape room game where you're trying to get someone, go back in time and make sure that someone doesn't get killed. It looks pretty cool. That's for sure. See, I'm going to go a little bit quicker now because I really have to end the stream soon. I'm a fanatic for space exploration stuff. Space is cool and interesting. So Machikoro was sort of fixed with the 662 market. Later version of the game even put it into the rules. Okay, maybe I sold my copy, so I'm not playing it anymore. But if I ever have to play it again, I'm definitely going to look up those rules. Empires of the North is there as well, of course. Really, folks, this is not Imperial Settlers, an expansion. This is a new game, and I really like it a lot. Just saying. Copenhagen, also Polyomino Shizzle. Let's see. New expansion for Merlin, which is always cool. I like Merlin, the Stefan Fell game. I like it a lot. And I haven't played in such a long time. I have the first expansion, the Merlin expansion. No, not the Merlin expansion. Yeah, the Merlin. It's Merlin, the game. The other expansion. And I haven't even got it out of the shrink yet. We have Jaws. Oh, I'm curious about Jaws. I cannot find it here in Belgium because it's this Target exclusive game. The same for Spirits of the Wild. I wanted to play that game, but it's not available here. I'm waiting for the Dutch Undo games. My mom loved those games, but her English is okay at best. Yeah, I prefer those games in Dutch as well because you can... Maybe even if you speak a lot of English and you know English, you can still miss important details if it's not your native language, in my opinion. I played with that market fix too and enjoyed it, but I want to try Space Base now. Me too. I want to play Space Day. And 20 games, I have to go to. Thanks for the great chat, everyone. Thanks for hosting. Yeah, you're welcome. It was not what I was planning for, but I hope you still had a good time. I know I did. Thanks for being here, and soon. Anybody had a chance to play Cartographer's Rolling Ride? Oh, I'm waiting for that one too. Haven't seen anything arriving here. I missed the Kickstarter. I think it was on Kickstarter. I didn't know what it was, and I ignored it, and I'm sad that I did. Really, it merges polyominoes and roll and ride, and it looks cool. It looks cool, and if I can get a copy, I'm definitely going to get a copy. Space Base is a lot of fun. It uses the same idea as Machikoro, but has almost no Take That in it. Yeah, the Take That in Machikoro was sometimes... All right, Space Base is the one people prefer, so it's the only one that gets played. Yeah, I understand that. It looks like the better game as well. So Jaws, I want to play Jaws, the board game. It looks like a funny game where someone plays the shark and the other players play the people who want to keep the shark from eating people. Horrify, I just had a watch it played how to play video. Looks like something interesting, a cooperative horror game. So maybe towards Halloween I might want to get that one. Let's see, Sleeping Gods for demoing. Curious what that will be. There is a new expansion for Clank, the Temple of the Ape Lords, which I am going to stop buying expansion for Clank because I prefer Clank in space. So I'm hoping that there will be new expansions for that game. If you're into Power Rangers, that game is for sale as well, the big Power Ranger game. Proving Grounds is getting a lot of buzz. This real-time dice rolling game, solo game. Maybe if I can find it for a decent price, I might buy it and do it, give it a go on the channel. I'm going to go fast through it now. The Return to Dark Tower, which is very hyped, is going in demo. Let's see, I was very surprised with Jaws. It was very fun and amazingly thematic if you like the movie. I haven't seen the movie for a long time, but I've heard good things about this game for sure. And there is the Unmatched from Restoration Games. I thought it was Restoration Games. Exactly. Let's see. Okay. So here we have the crypto, the expansion, laser drive. Looks cool. Dun, dun, dun. What else is interesting to... This would have been a long video if I did the live stream with showing you the browser. But it deserved more. Oh, a new expansion for Shards of Infinity as well. Oh, the Shadows of Salvation. Sounds good to me. And a new edition of Diamonds. So apparently it was out of print. I did not even know that. Okay. We're at the T with the publishers. Oh, I'm really curious about the Old West Impresario. That looks pretty neat as well. I'm really curious about that. People can demo Isle of Cats. I'm jealous of those people. There's a Die Hard game for sale, if you like Die Hard. You never know, it might be good if all these games with IPs are getting decent, then might be something for you. And there we have Cartographers. I'm really curious about that one. Really, I really want to play that. Let's see a little bit more. No. See in the chat. Kabuki, did Jaws fit back in or did it need a bigger box? The Die Hard cover reminds me of Frank Miller art. Yeah, I know what you mean. Indeed. Oh, there's a new Choose Your Own Adventure game as well. War with the Evil Power Master. I still have to play the other one. Should do that also. Pandemic Rapid Response as the last one I'm going to mention. I'm not interested in that. I'm a little bit over real-time games, honestly. I've had my fun with them. I still like Fuse, but besides that, I hate it. No, I don't hate it, but I don't like the stress anymore. Okay, folks, I went through all the lists. We still had quite a decent long episode, right? More than an hour and almost 15 minutes. I'd like to try Rapid Response, but I won't blindly buy it. Same for me. I would play it if someone asked me to play it, but I'm not going to buy it and then try it. We'll see. So yeah, that's it for now, folks. I'm sorry about the failed preview. I love the search, but I prefer Kitchen Rush from David Turchi. Yes, I should play that one as well. So everybody starts to say goodbye now. I'm definitely going to say goodbye. Elisa will arrive soon, and then it's dinner time. Have a great weekend, folks. I'm going to film an episode of the Vitruvian Life tomorrow. I'm home tomorrow, and I might start filming a playthrough. Still have to decide which one. I'm thinking about doing Star Wars Outer Rim. Maybe. I'm not promising anything, but that's at this moment the one that's on top of the list. But I still have to check my collection and see if there is another game that I prefer filming first. We'll see. But maybe, but soon on this channel, a new playthrough of something. Thank you all for being here, even though it was not the chat that or the live stream that I was planning to do. Thanks everyone, folks, and see you all in the future. Bye bye.